Hey, what's up, everybody? Tonight I wanted to just kind of gush a little bit about, and I don't do this a lot. I usually keep it to gaming stuff on the channel, but I am a big fan, as a lot of you all know, we've had conversations or whatever. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. I've been a huge fan of Star Wars all my life. For people that are, of my age, if you were into like nerdy, geeky stuff when you were a kid, chances are you really dug Star Wars, and that was kind of the camp I fell into. That Mandalorian season 2 finale was just some of the most incredible Star Wars I've ever seen. I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars. I liked Rebels. And a lot of times, we as Star Wars fans, we have to say, well, that was pretty good for the live action stuff. Because the Clone Wars stuff and Dave Filoni is just like on another level, right? But it has more time than just like a 2 or 2.5 hour movie to explore its characters. It has huge seasons and stuff. So naturally, it can be more fleshed out. Chapter 16 of The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars I have seen, period, since the Return of the Jedi. I feel very, very confident and comfortable in saying that. Let me tell you something. There's going to be spoilers. This is going to be very spoilery video, so if you have not seen this or you think you might watch it at some point, definitely don't watch this video right now, because I'm going into spoilers and I don't want to ruin this for you. It's going to get ruined for you if you don't watch it soon from social media and stuff, but I don't want to be the one that does it for you. So, with that being said, here we go, okay? The episode opens pretty good, standard Mandalorian stuff. They're getting ready to ride into battle. They're getting together, getting a plan together, and Boba Fett's part of that plan. Din Djarin, and then you've got Bo-Katan and her sidekick Sasha Banks, the Sasha Banks-Lorian. So they're getting ready to go do their thing, and they're gonna go after Moff Gideon on his ship, and of course he's got the Dark Troopers on there, which super cool looking, man. They kind of harken to Darth Vader a little bit in their design. I felt they kind of had some Darth Vader influence there. But they get on the ship, and the whole rescue sequence ensues. They're trying to get Grogu, or Din Djarin's trying to get Grogu back, and Bo-Katan's there for the Darksaber, right? So the whole squad, except for Mando, they're off. They're taking out random stormtroopers and stuff. Mando is going to go shut down the Dark Troopers, right? So that's pretty cool. The whole time, Moff Gideon knows they're heading straight for the bridge. They're heading straight for him. And so he's smart. He goes into Grogu's cell. He's hiding out there with the Darksaber, right? He knows Mando's coming there. So there's a really great fight between... I loved this. One dark trooper, and I love it because it was only one dark trooper, and here's why I love it. It shows the disparity in power level, right? The dark trooper is miles above how strong Din Djarin is. But Din Djarin's crafty, right? That's kind of his thing throughout the series. He's pretty crafty, he's pretty inventive, especially in tight spots. So he's got the Beskar spear with him, and he's fighting the Dark Trooper, and the Dark Trooper's whooping his ass, right? Whooping his ass. He's like putting his head into the side of the steel wall of the ship. He's like burying his head into it. But where it's the Beskar, he's not destroying it or anything. He's not breaking it. So push comes to shove. I liked how he used the Beskar spear to kill the Dark Trooper. But here's the thing. There's a whole platoon that was waiting to get out. He jettisons them out into space. And at that point, I was kind of thinking, oh man, I wanted to see them get out and wreak havoc and have them have a real situation on their hands. But we'll get to that. I liked the struggle. I liked how it showed him struggling, because he handily takes care of numerous bad guys quite easily for the most part. He'll get in some good dust up fights every now and then, but for the most part, he handles guys pretty quick and pretty handily. So that happens. Then he goes off to Grogu's cell. Moff Gideon's in there. Moff Gideon. Let me tell you what, Esposito is an incredible actor. A lot of villains. I like a lot of different villains. I like the Sephiroths, the Darth Vaders, the Starscreams, all for different reasons, because I find there's an allure to them, right? Not that you want to be evil and do the things they're doing, but they have a certain dark charisma about them that you just love to watch. You love to see in the story. And there's an attractive component as far as like, a character that you want to see more of on page or on screen or in a game. And it's almost like Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight, right? Everybody's great, but you can't wait to see him back on screen. What Giancarlo Esposito does with Moff Gideon is the opposite, right? He portrays a villain that you want to see get his comeuppance. You want to see this guy get wrecked. You want to see him get absolutely wrecked. He plays him as this smarmy kind of, guy who thinks he's bigger than he is. And I really don't think Moff Gideon is as big in the ranking of what's left of the Empire as he would like to think he is, right? I think he portrays that villain who aspires for more. He doesn't care who he steps on, but he does it in a way that you want to see him get whooped. And so we have the final battle scene between him and Din Djarin over Grogu, and I thought this was excellent. He went in on this fight. It's the Beskar spear against the Darksaber. Esposito goes in on this fight. Moff Gideon, he's swinging for the fences every time he's coming at him, but he eventually gets beaten, and Din Djarin picks up the Darksaber, and Moff Gideon has like a nice little heckle about it. The whole episode doesn't stop. It gets boom, 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 but it just keeps going. It's just 42 to 45 minutes. It just keeps going, all right? So get on the bridge. Like, it looks like the heroes have won the day, right? But the Dark Troopers come back from space, and they're like they're boarding the ship. They're taking over. There's probably about 20 or so of them. They're down one, maybe 19, because they lost one, right? So they're taking over. They're coming in, and this is where it happens. So you hear like the radar is picking up a ship coming in. It's one X-Wing. And, part of me thought maybe it was Ahsoka coming back. She was in episode 5, I think it was, of this season. But in my head, I was like, that X-Wing, that's Luke Skywalker. They're going to do Luke Skywalker. Everybody been talking about, maybe Sebastian Stan's going to play him like a younger Luke Skywalker in his prime. But they didn't do that. They used the CG, but they used a stuntman up until he gets on the bridge. And man, he starts housing these Dark Troopers. He is wrecking them. And it's not even a fight. He's toying with them. It's basically like he's just using it as an exercise to get all of his moves in. All the moves he's been practicing. He's just using it as like dummy practice, right? And I say that because it goes back to the whole thing. Din Djarin had such a hard time with one of them, right? And Luke Skywalker comes in. He comes across a few here. He's just wiping them off the board. So, I'm going to say this. I loved this. And was it announced a fan service? Absolutely. But, with something like Star Wars, you can call it fan service, but you can also say, hey, Luke exists in this time. It makes sense that he's coming here. It serves the story, right? Because the real battle was already won, right? The real battle was already won halfway through the episode when Din Djarin defeats Moff Gideon and gets Grogu back. And he wins the Darksaber, which is the whole thing between him and Bo-Katan now. Because Bo-Katan's kind of pissed that he's got the Darksaber. That's going to lead to something in Season 3, probably. But anyway, Luke Skywalker comes off as like a deity in this scene. like this spirit of, you know, protection coming to save everybody. He came off as powerful but humble. All right, so there were a couple of scenes in this, right? So right here was one scene where it's the first time you see the green saber. At this point, I was like, oh my God, it's him. It's him, right? And then here's another point right here. When I saw this, look, God, this is badass. I saw this right here. I see the glove. I see the prosthetic hand. I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They absolutely did it. And my mind was blown. My mind was blown. He goes on to wreck these Dark Troopers, right? There was a scene where, let me see. So he's getting ready to come off the elevator, go to the bridge where these things are waiting for him. There's just no way. And right here, look at this. This is incredible. This looks so good. I was instantly just floored. Like, he's using the Force. Like, he pulls this one. You see his hand come up. He pulls this one toward him. Slice. And then right here, I love this. Watch this. Boom. He spins around. Look at this move. God. They just killed this. Just killed it. And then this shot right here, of course, crushes this one like a soda can. My God. And then for me, the shot right here. This shot is just incredible. Like, I love this shot so much, I want to do a painting. I think this might be the next painting that I do, because this was so good. This whole episode was good. And like I said before, I have no problem with Luke coming in and doing what he did, because the real battle had already been won. This was like an earthquake or a volcano going off when the Dark Troopers came back, and of course, there's nothing they can do against it. It took a little extra firepower. You see the big belt buckle there, and at that point you're like, this is Luke. There's no way this ain't Luke. There's no way. But they did it. They pulled the trigger on it, and it came off amazing. Then of course the big reveal: Luke Skywalker CG, not Sebastian Stan. It was a stunt actor as a stand-in, and then they did the CG face like they did with Grand Moff Tarkin, and they did with Princess Leia, and I think, well, is that it? Maybe a few other instances, but this was incredible. This whole episode was just amazing. Like, I loved it. And one of the things I really like about this is all 16 chapters of The Mandalorian. All 16 chapters. They all lead to this moment right here. They all lead to this moment where Din Djarin and Grogu have to say goodbye, right? I put a tweet up on my Twitter. Well, of course that's where it went, right? I put on my timeline this scene right here. I got a little emotional while I was watching it. I did. I teared up because kind of starting to now. So I'm going to power through this. I don't need to be getting all choked up. Luke Skywalker was my childhood when I was a kid. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. Luke Skywalker was my childhood. I remember when Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi came out. Terras Kasi, however you say that. When it came out on PS1, I got that day one. That game was not very good. But I had Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, learning all of his moves. Boba Fett and Darth Vader learning all their moves. Star Wars was life when I was in middle school and high school. And that was before it was like socially acceptable. Right? That was before it was like everybody was doing it, right? I would get heckled and made fun of for it, but I didn't give a damn. I didn't give a damn, man. Hey, this makes me happy. You know what? I'll take the heckling, whatever. This scene right here. Luke Skywalker was my childhood. 10 feet away. Din Djarin and Grogu. That's me as a grown man, as a dad. Willing to do anything to see your child succeed, to protect them, to love them. And then when he took off his helmet so Grogu could see him and Grogu touched his face, y'all, I just lost it. I absolutely lost it. It was like perfect. All 16 chapters of Mandalorian were leading to this one moment right here. And in this one moment, this is powerful writing. I wasn't thinking about Luke Skywalker that just happened. I was thinking about this. I was so emotionally vested in this because you've seen their journey. You've seen everything they've gone through. You've seen how many times Mando has saved Grogu's life and how many times Grogu saved Mando's life. You saw this play out over the course of like a year, 16 episodes. And this was masterfully done. This was masterfully done. And then, of course, Grogu was hanging on to his left foot. He didn't want to go. And Din Djarin, when he tells Luke, he's like, he doesn't want to go with you. And then Luke is like, he's asking for your permission to come with me. Like a child would do with his father. He's asking for your permission to come with me. He wants your permission to come with me. That is insane storytelling and so subtle. So subtle. And it was not lost on me, the parallel between Grogu reaching to take off Mando's helmet and him taking it off and letting him look on his face, and Darth Vader doing the same thing in Return of the Jedi with Luke Skywalker. I feel like that's why they did that parallel there. And again, it was another thing that just, they were like, hey, we're fans too. The other fans are going to recognize this. Let's put it in there. Another just flawless entry into this episode. Fantastic 10 out of 10 episode. This was just another nice little Easter egg and beautiful little shot that they put in there. And then I love when Luke came onto the bridge, right? And everybody was there and everybody's terrified of him, right? There's like, oh my God, this guy, this space wizard with this laser sword, he's like so powerful. And he comes in, he put his saber away, he took his hood off, and he crossed his hands. And he was just sitting there real humbly, real non-threatening. True Jedi Master in his prime. Can wreck a full ship of super killer droids, and they come in and drop the anxiety level in the room with calm and peace. And there's this shot where Luke picks up Grogu and looks at him. And he's looking at him in a way that you can tell he's thinking about Yoda. I loved that. I loved that. You could tell that he was thinking about Yoda, and I thought that was incredible. That was incredible writing, you all. That, as a Star Wars fan, I feel comfortable saying that this is the best live act. No. This is the best Star Wars I've seen since 1983 with Return of the Jedi. This is the best Star Wars in 37 years. This episode, this scene right here was the best Star Wars in 37 years. This was good. This was long-term storytelling. This was a plan that they stuck to as writers, as storytellers, as actors, as staff, as crew, everybody. This was just great. And I'm gushing a little bit. I just want you all to know how good it was if you haven't seen it. Well, if you're still watching, I ruined it for you. But I did give you a spoiler warning, right? I did give you a spoiler warning. But yeah, like the whole dynamic between them, and then of course R2-D2 comes into the scene, and that's something else, right? Because Grogu lets go of Din Djarin and starts to walk toward R2-D2, and R2-D2 is rocking back and forth like he's excited, right? Did R2-D2 get Grogu out of the Jedi Temple during Order 66? R2-D2 was on Coruscant, we know, because Anakin was on Coruscant, we know that. But what was R2-D2 doing the whole time? Did he have a hand in getting some of the younglings out, maybe a couple of Jedi out or something like that? Did he have a hand in that? Maybe. We don't know. We'll find out. I mean, I think we will find out. Now, here's the other thing. Do I want more Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian? No. This was great, and this is a great one-timer. Do I want to see more Luke Skywalker in the Disney TV universe, even if they did like a cinematic thing? OP, Jedi Master, Luke Skywalker in his prime? Absolutely. Absolutely, I want to see more of that. Cast an actor, cast Sebastian Stan, just do it. Everybody's talking about it. He does look the part. I've seen the Photoshop images of him online as Luke Skywalker. He looks the part. Let him do it. Let him do it. Rock it out. And, you know, maybe we see Luke Skywalker raising the next generation of Jedi before the whole Ben Solo thing or whatever. I think that would be great. But as far as the Mandalorian, now I want to stay to the kind of the sleazy underbelly of the Star Wars universe. That's what Mandalorian needs to stick to and be, because we saw the difference in power, right, between Luke Skywalker, fully trained Jedi Master, and Din Djarin, right, through the Dark Troopers. So that was why that was there. That was why that was important. And I think it showed the viewer why we can't just have Jedi running around on the show. Why we can't just have Ahsoka Tano running around on The Mandalorian all the time. Because it's too easy. It's too easy, you know. We need Mandalorians to be doing Mandalorian stuff. We need bounty hunters to be doing bounty hunter stuff. We need base level bad guys to be able to do base level bad guy stuff, right? So I'm gonna get back to reviewing stuff. I'm gonna start reviewing games and things again. But if I was to review this, which this isn't a review, this is me gushing on this episode because it was that good, it's that incredible. This is a 10 out of 10. This is like full stop, barely even have to think about it. 10 out of 10 because of the gamut of emotions it took me through and how well done it was and how it paid everything off. The only loose end coming out of this episode, besides the Boba Fett thing, and we'll get to it in a second, is the Darksaber storyline. And you have to have a little something hanging to have meat for the next episode. I'll tell you what, everybody did a great job in this. Everybody did a great job in this. The parting of Grogu and Din Djarin was super emotional. Great job to Favreau and Filoni. Peyton Reed, that directed Ant-Man, he directed this episode. And look, you know, if you're going to give a shout out to everybody involved with this, you got to give a shout out to Kathleen Kennedy too. She has been hands off with this. And after season 1, as popular as season 1 was, she could have been like, look, Mandalorian's bringing in the money. I'm going to start having a hand in this now. She didn't. She left it to Favreau and Filoni to come in and help out a little more with it, and whoever they wanted to come in and run things. That's a great manager. That's a manager's job. No matter what job you're at, manager has assistant managers and things like that. Look at Kathleen Kennedy as a manager. Look at Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni as like her assistant managers or like co-managers or whatever. She let them do their job. She let them do their job and didn't object and didn't get in the way and didn't have too many cooks in the kitchen for them. And look at what they delivered. The best Star Wars in 37 years, in my opinion. And a lot of times we'll say best live action Star Wars because the Clone Wars and all that is really good. Clone Wars is excellent. Rebels is really good. Has great scenes and stuff in it. But this was the best Star Wars in 37 years. It was. So, but I mean, the ending scene too with Boba Fett was amazing. Like, you know, they go into Jabba's palace. Bib Fortuna's in there. He's been running the show, and he has ran that organization into the fucking ground. Because when Jabba the Hutt was in there running the show, it was a party, right? It was a party. You had, like, it was a, you know, you had a live band in there. You had all kinds of scoundrels and stuff in there mixing it up. They go in there with Bib Fortuna, and he's got like maybe 8 people hanging around or something. I don't know. It looked like it was dead in that joint. And, you know, they come in, they clean house. And then, of course, Bib Fortuna's like, hey, Boba, what's happening, man? I heard some rumors about what happened to you. Boba Fett pulls out a gun and just blasts him dead. He walks up there. He peels his carcass off of that throne, and he sits down. And it's playing his theme, which I love. I love the theme they put for him in The Mandalorian, right? It's that boom, 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 boom. And I like it. If you had given me a bunch of tracks and said, okay, Boba Fett's going to be in season 2 of Mandalorian, we need a theme song for him. Listen to these 10 themes. I'm not picking that one out. But it works so well because it's got this almost menacing, kind of plodding, kind of like untrusting sound to it, you know, like there's something about it you don't trust. And that's Boba Fett. They did a great job with that. And it ends by saying, Book of Boba Fett coming December 2021. Is season 3 focused more on Boba Fett? Is each season of The Mandalorian going forward just focusing on a different Mandalorian? Could be interesting. Could be interesting to find out. But anyway, I just wanted to gush on that episode. You all, I encourage you, if you're a Star Wars fan in any way, go check that out. It was amazing. I thought it was excellent, excellent, excellent. The Luke Skywalker stuff was just incredible in it. I couldn't believe, like, I lost my mind. It was 4 a.m. Friday morning, Thursday night and Friday morning, and I'm watching it, and I'm trying to be subdued as I can because my wife and child are obviously in bed, you know. And I'm just slapping the arms of the chair, and I'm like cheering. I'm like bugging out. I can't believe it. You know, I just couldn't believe it. It was just absolutely incredible. I, just lost my mind watching that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. But if y'all dug the video, please throw a like on the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. You know, if you come to my channel often and like the content, and this is the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th video you've watched of mine this week or the past couple of weeks, you haven't subscribed, I consider subscribing. I got some good stuff coming. I'm cranking out like a video every day at least, and some days I'm trying to get 2 out. So click the bell so you know when I got new stuff coming up, like this, like other things. Usually I cover gaming stuff, and I'm gonna start doing a variety of things, and a lot more gaming stuff too. So on top of that. So anyway, y'all have a great night. Keep rocking. Be safe out there. Be good to each other. And may the Force be with you. I've done so many videos, and this is the first time I've said may the Force be with you in a video. But hey, may the Force be with you. You all have a great night. I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy.